Hi guys and welcome back to another video on the swing and review Daniel. This wasn't the video attempt I intended. Sorry to make at the start of the week, but it seems as though it seems as though Karrion, Kross and is what a Scarlett have been released from WWE, and I just don't want to give my thoughts on it. So basically, guys, Karrion, Kross and Scarlett's contracts had expired over the weekend. They were in talks for new deals, etc. But it's come to pass that both might have not been satisfied with the deal or any current plans. Basically, a previous power and Kross had pitched for a faction was for like the wrestlers and heels to band together um to form the kind of super faction of bad guys, and I think that was in a show. I think that was in a show, and for I think that was in a show, and for Sami Zayn, like obviously he was trying hard to kind of recruit Sami Zayn over to use with your thinking. I know a couple news outlets have actually picked that story up. Well, one of them being the ringside news, who is known for clickbait, so we'll see on that front. But this is a guy that I felt for. This is the guy that I felt for the last few years has been treated very badly by my management. Obviously was brought back by Triple H when he took the book of creative, and essentially I thought like that this guy's going to be a vocal point. He returned to right in the middle of the Drew McIntyre Roman Reigns feud to the night after Roman beat Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam for the unified belt as it was known. Um but but yeah, the debut I thought his debut I thought was epic. Yeah, he had this original theme, Scarlett singing the theme song. He, he attacks Drew McIntyre and the album. He, he hits him with the cross arm and elbow. Etc. And then he signals to Roman Reigns TikTok. Now the following month is a bit weird then for Classic Clash at the Castle Cardiff. He managed to get ringside seats and storyline chucked over to work remember McIntyre during his match with Roman and Cardiff, and then what kind of spawned the two matches with Drew McIntyre, and he was booked to look very you can both do those matches at Extreme Rules and in Saudi Arabia at Crown Jewel. He'd obviously he lose the cage match, but and by a very screwy finish in a straight up match. As you know, I'm not a big fan of strap matches in general. He would then lose matches to Rey Mysterio, AJ Styles, Nakamura, etc. And he would just be caught in a rut of basically attacking these guys, challenging to matches and then losing them. It wouldn't even be a feud, it would just be all on and done SmackDown or Raw match. Um, obviously, obviously they tried to give him the final testament faction with Paul Ellering, Akam and Razar from the Authors of Pain would be brought back, but they three would will be the East, but before the Kross would beat Uncle Howdy in a match on the Netflix premiere. Cheap cheap Paul guys, myself and Sean from the Nerdaholics have did a review back in January for that. So what a corporate mess that was, but yeah, this is a guy that's good on them. I he's got an attractive wife that accompany some to ring side. She's also got boatload of personality. She had her own YouTube show with Shotzi Black Heart, Gigi Dole, and with occasional wiggy, etc. And yeah, was pretty successful, but obviously Shotzi was released either early this year or late last year. There's been a whole spate of releases the past 12 months. It's difficult to keep track, but Karrion Kross, I can assure you, has has the personality to make it big. But I get the feeling that this is his last WWE shot because he's now 40 years old, and yeah, so this was the perfect opportunity for him to make a hell of a lot of money, but obviously WWE now ever saw the star quality that I saw, and I don't know why. He's a big imposing guy. He's obviously uh, he's got good mic skills. He's got a good move set. Him and AJ Styles had a fantastic match just before WrestleMania on the go home Raw. And he was getting good crowd reactions in the build up to that match, and I really feel that WWE have dropped to the ball of the ball with them once again, and it it seems to be anybody that is over with the live crowd like our truth. You can obviously put in the packaged Baron Corbin after his NXT on even in my um changing my stance in Baron Corbin. I was really getting into him after that NXT on and obviously now you can add Karrion Kross into that mix. You can add a lot on in there as well. But yeah, it just seems to be like a tone deaf sort of cost. Extra, but but TKO aren't really aren't really all that great at respecting older so and it is such a shame that Triple H himself didn't really do much with this guy on his return. You'd have thought because he was a Triple H guy during the very end of the second half of the Black and Gold era of NXT, you would have thought when Triple H brought on back after being released um under the stewardship of Vince McMahon, you'd have thought after Triple H had taken the day operations, he'd have done something with Karrion Kross, but no, he was put in, he was put in positions where he was on John matches, despite being one of the best talkers, despite being one of the best talkers in wrestling right now, as a I don't think WWE are too happy with his sort of podcast show interview that he did during WrestleMania 40. He won one weekend, and you really and you really do have to question or right did he have a choice and that because at the end of the day at the end of the day it became straight eating stuff sausage on him for actually trying to convey his striations, etc. Because it looked as though even on the Netflix premiere where he spoke about everybody turning to the dark side, be it John Cena, Sami Zayn and all that, calling the more Ayers and obviously AJ Styles, calling the more Ayers, etc. You would have thought, right, this guys are onto something, and this guy's finally gonna get his big break, but no, oh, he always hits the 10 feet, he, but, the 10 feet brick all of hundreds above the iron top, and you have to think that this guy, you have to think that this guy must be the frustrated, must be the most frustrated guy in the pool, and it pisses me off the fact that he never got anything meaningful to do, and in my opinion, he should he should have been John Cena's final opponent, not this rock isn't or push that nobody wants. No, this guy is getting a kick or out of my ear action and all of that. People are starting to get invested in his matches. And like, I'm sorry, but having Brock Lesnar or come back to be John Cena's final opponent, it looks like it's the void of imagination. I'd have preferred it to be somebody like Karrion or Oz, because he could have parlayed into the road to the WrestleMania and got himself a bigger WrestleMania match and moment off the back of defeating um seen that Saturday night's main event, and this guy should have held the Easter singles me in the roster championship, the only belt he ever held in WWE was the NXT title and the Black and Gold era. He should have held it always to one single title. Particularly in his second stint with the company, because the first stint he had with the whole power of the stupid mask, which I thought was absolutely atrocious when he was called up to the in the last or and then this is a guy when you look at him has had a good body of work, because he had that brilliant feud with Eddie Edwards and yeah, and it was known as Impact Wrestling. That was when I still tuned into that company, but we don't need to get into what I tuned out again, because that's a totally different subject. But yeah, I just and he's had and he's had good matches and triple A, etc. You've obviously got the triple A, triple mania show coming up next after the his wife Scarlett still holds the on them for the most viewed triple A video on the triple A YouTube channel. So these are stars and they've got kind of asthma. And obviously, as we had, obviously, is we had Karrion Kross as a rabbit character and which are undone around to not be confused with if they will get it, but it will higher. But yeah, but yeah, I'm just so angry and um, I'm upset by this because what, what did this guy have to do to stick a aim and try and move up the card? But again, and it's this whole sort of corporate cost, cutting bullshit that you are seeing in usually in the companies will and for sure a full age to drop the ball on another on his eyes is baffling to me. Um, I think H I think Triple H in 2025 has made a lot of mistakes and he's starting to get a lot of the goodwill that I've shown to him. I'm not I'm not only totally but I didn't because it was on his stewardship that this part of the world got Ash at the Castle 2024, and it just um and it just and it just seems recently he is making one bad mistake after another, or a watched the majority the John Cena heel on it only got good or right around the CM Punk and the Randy Orton feuds and matches the build the Cody Rhodes match at WrestleMania 40 on and the retrospective is absolutely abysmal and yeah uh, I and again and this is just on the other than the long I screw-ups in 2020 and if five because those final even though those final estimate he shots with their actually went out like hotcakes. To be honest, I mean, Karen Kross has got a new book out. Oh, eight no, whatever it's old, um, and it's just such a shame that it's just such a shame that he won't have the WWE commercial arm around about him to help promote that book because I guarantee you that book would be in the best I guarantee you that book would have been the best oh, of the WWE machine behind it. I mean, it still could be because this is a fascinating guy. Aye, but you know what? I mean, it give the extra a boost. But as I've said, guys, this is a guy that that should have been hovering in the mix of the main event because this guy, was on, and I don't care if he was 40, this guy really, he should have been in the mix for championships and high profile stories, but he never really got that. He never really got that big. He never really got that big pay. And unfortunately, it's looking increasingly like that the Sami Zayn feud was his art and shot, so to speak. And he really deserved the whole lot more in the company. I would have had, I would have had them actually, and the money in the bank action in the case, but we've spoke about that before in a couple of videos, but yeah, again, though, it's the opportunity after it's the opportunity, and yeah, both Triple H and TKO should hang their heads in shame. And then the reason why I think that Karrion, Kross and Scarlett have been released is because or being able to not come to terms with signing new deals is because both have basically put out the standard if promoters want to be is here's our email address, and you know right there and then the name's up. So this week, and yeah, I really feel this has been more is its potential, and it makes me sick to my cause this is pathetic. Editing is a up all each and you special start to give the fans what they want and stop trying to be corporate suits all the time and um and carrying Kross and Scarlett she's both the best still. Oh, and I hope and I hope whatever's next in the pipeline for both of you, you both succeed that you're both entertaining individuals, but together you're magic, and I hope you to continue to be in the wrestling, but isn't it? It's because it's a really entertaining and carrying horrors good to if the upcoming book. I hope it's the best sell Arctic and despite WWE, but not only that, you do as Elva and Yeg, as I just had to get this off my chest. I'm sorry for this uh, too much and rant, but had to be said. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to be notified of any new videos. I've been the wrestler in the review Daniel, and I'll see you all in the next video. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next bit of content. And thanks for tuning in, guys. Your support means a lot, and I'll see you soon.